Hello, Summit Stars. We're going to set up a science experiment today using some bread. So if you have some bread at home, you're welcome to do this along with us, or you can just tune in and see the results of what's happening with my bread. So this is an experiment where we're going to have 3 or 4 different baggies, kind of up to you here. I'm going to start just because I haven't washed my hands yet and I've been petting my dog and I went outside and touched a bunch of things. I'm going to start with the baggie that says dirty hands and my slice of bread. So we're setting up an experiment to see what happens when your hands look clean, but you haven't actually washed them for 20 seconds with soap and water. So I want you to really think and make some predictions about what's going to happen to this piece of bread in a day, in 2 days, in a week. What results would you expect? Remember, I haven't washed my hands. I went outside, I touched things. I was petting my dog and rubbing her feet, which go all outside. And now I'm going to take my hands and I'm just going to kind of touch the bread everywhere, like I'm making a sandwich. I didn't wash my hands after playing outside. Now I'm making my food for lunch. And I'm going to simply open this baggie, and I just used a marker and wrote dirty hands. And I'm going to drop this piece of bread in it and seal it up. Now, sometimes we think, well, sanitizer, that helps. It gets our hands clean, right? It kills some germs. So we're going to test out the theory about sanitizer. So I have my little bottle of marshmallow pumpkin scented sanitizer. So I'm going to pour a good little amount here onto my palm. And I'm going to rub it in and kind of let it dry like you're supposed to. And we're going to see if I had cleaner hands than when I touched the last piece of bread. So this time I'm going to get another piece of bread and I'm going to make my sandwich with it, pat it, make sure I touch it everywhere. And I have another baggie set up with sanitizer written on it. So this is going to be my sanitizer experiment. What will happen to the bread when I cleaned my hands with sanitizer? So I have 2 pieces of bread ready to go. For the last one, I am going to wash my hands for 20 seconds in nice warm water with soap. And we're going to see if there's a difference between sanitizer, soap, and not washing at all. All right, so I'm going to really rub my soap in. I'm going to go between all my fingers. I'm going to get my nails. I'll spare you me singing a song because you probably don't want to hear that. All right, so I'm going to rinse them off now. And I'm going to use a nice clean paper towel just to make sure I didn't add any extra germs to my hands. So I'm going to get out another piece of bread with my clean hands. Again, I'm going to touch it, making my sandwich, getting lunch ready. And I'm going to put it in another baggie labeled clean hands, soap and water. Seal it up so nothing gets inside. And the last one, it says control. This is going to be a piece of bread that I actually haven't touched at all. So I am going to, without using my hands, get a piece of bread from my bread baggie here and just slide it straight into my baggie without touching it. So this is a piece of bread straight from the bag that has not been touched since it was made and put in it. All right, here are my 4 bags. I am going to keep them in my kitchen and we'll check back in and see what differences are happening between the pieces of bread. So we have our control, nothing else has touched it. We have our clean hands when I finally use soap and water. We have our sanitizer, trying to kill some germs off. And we have the one where I forgot to wash my hands. And we're going to see what happens to that piece of bread. So we can think about why it's important for us to wash our hands with soap and water for 20 seconds to make sure we kill any germs. We'll be back in the next few days to show you what's happening to our bread experiment.